Greetings. Today we're going to talk about a twin flame cult. And yeah, I'm talking about what you think I'm talking about. I just want to say this at the front. Free speech is protected by the First Amendment. I'm allowed to express my opinion that it's a cult. Um, I don't think that's very hard to justify anymore. In case you're wondering who I'm talking about, you guys. There's these two people on Netflix. You just go to Netflix and type in Twin Flames. Um, I think the documentary is called Desperately Seeking Soulmate, Escaping something, something, something. I'm not going to use their names, guys. And it's like Speak No Evil, right? But if you want to know who I'm talking about, just go to Netflix and just look for that, or just Google Netflix Twin Flames. Um, and this needs to be addressed, guys. When I look at the type of stuff people are saying about twin flames online on average, just the average kind of twin flame messaging that you're getting from the internet, what did you guys think was going to happen? Of course, we have these two. They're getting investigated by the attorney general, and I hope something comes of that. But guys, I just want to say, don't get your hopes up. I don't know if you noticed, but the government doesn't always do everything that it maybe could or should do. Um, I don't know how that's going to turn out. I mean, every time you have one of these organizations, like the Scientologists or Jim Jones or whatever, yeah, they kind of get by somehow. They wiggle out of accountability. They kind of get away with it. They're able to. So don't be surprised, guys, if they're not held accountable, other than in the public square. We can hold them accountable in the public square, the square of public opinion, and we can say, yeah, this is unacceptable behavior. The things that they're doing. And again, look at the kind of belief system that they're peddling. It's the same stuff that's on average in these twin flame chat rooms. It's like 80-90% of the people on the internet who say they met their twin flame. Probably not. Probably not. And I'm going to tell you how you can tell. Real simple, guys. Real easy to understand. I don't know why this is so hard for some people to get this. Um, but I just want to say about the investigation that's going on, the Attorney General. So I'm recording this in August of 2025. Um, you know, Name me one um, department of government, right? Name me one government organization or department of government, any state government, city, federal, any of them, right? Other than the fire department. Name one that does what it's supposed to do all the time, other than the fire department. You might be going, well, why not the fire department? Because it's not very hard. There's a fire, they show up, they put the fire out. That's it, right? Name one government entity, department, right, of government that does its job, right? That's why I'm just saying, guys, don't hold your breath on that one. All right. This is not hard to understand, guys. Here, I'm going to turn my screen sharing on here. Give me a sec. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see me. My Zoom, it doesn't always work. If you can't, maybe that's a good thing because I'm going to be blocking the some of the words here that I want you to look at. But I'm supposed to be in the lower, right hand corner? I don't know. We'll see. I usually I can't tell until after I check the recording, but anyway, it doesn't matter. So this is a spontaneous spiritual awakening. We're going to talk about how to tell if it's your twin flame, what twin flames are, and contrast it with the two cult leaders on Netflix. Yeah, so these are psychologists. These people, they are not twin flames. They are not talking about twin flames. This is how you tell if you met your twin flame. So you meet them, There's the little bubble phase at the beginning. It's all romantic. It's perfect. Your twin flame reciprocates. It's wonderful. It's like the best ever, right? That doesn't last for very long in the majority of cases, almost 100%. Don't tell me that you're the exception, because I'm not going to believe you. They call it exception for a reason. But anyway, here's what happens. So after the initial breakup, you go into a tailspin, right? The dark night of the soul. And this is where, for some people, it all stops. And instead of a spiritual awakening taking place after that, it's just this. So this is from another website that talks about medical health, mental health. This person here is a doctor, right? See that PhD? That means she is a doctor of some type. And yeah, this is a real thing, guys. Obsessive love disorder. If there is no spontaneous spiritual awakening, in contrast, then you're just obsessed with somebody. Full stop. And here's what I mean. Here's what I mean by spontaneous spiritual awakening. So again, there's the bubble phase. It lasts anywhere between 4 and 8 weeks, very short. Exceptions are rare. If you think you're an exception, probably not. But regardless, after the initial breakup, that's where it's important to look for this stuff. Because at some point within 6 to 12 months after the initial breakup, there will be an uncontrolled spiritual awakening. You don't have to do anything to get it to happen. It's a spontaneous awakening, guys. Meaning it's going to happen whether you want it to or not. You don't get to decide. Mine started in the middle of the dark night of the soul. Again, after the initial breakup, you go into a tailspin. It's all horrible. There's this sense of meaninglessness. Just awful, awful, awful. I've never been that despondent and crying and just, I don't know what I'm going to do and desperate, right? At some point during that period, the dark night of the soul, is when this shit started happening. Kundalini, psychic visions, which keep coming true. Very important. I'm going to explain these things, exactly what these things are. Because this is another problem with the fucking internet, is people got to make shit up about this stuff too. And you don't have to have, you met your twin flame for this to happen. We're going to talk about that. Number 3, leaving your body. Right? Pretty unusual stuff, guys. Merging with God, unity consciousness, a divine merging with God, or the universe, right? They call it union. Really, that's what that's called. And we're going to talk about that. That's what this psychologist is talking about here. So let me share my screen again, and I'll show you what I mean. So, and again, these are psychologists, guys. This is a peer-reviewed paper. Peer-reviewed. This isn't bullshit. And they're not talking about twin flames. There are lots of other ways for you to have a spontaneous spiritual awakening, and we'll talk about that in a second. Spontaneous spiritual awakenings are subjective experiences characterized by a sudden sense of direct contact, union, or complete non-dual merging, experience of oneness with a perceived ultimate reality, the universe, God, or the divine. These profound transformative experiences have scarcely been researched despite extensive anecdotal evidence suggesting their potential to catalyze drastic long-term and often positive shifts in perception, worldview, and well-being. Yeah, Kundalini is another thing that they talk about in here. Now, you can read all this. I don't think you will. Some of you might. But, she kind of picks everything apart. My object of even using this source as a reference at all is to show you that there is a conversation going on about this. Okay. There is a conversation about spontaneous spiritual awakenings going on in the psychology community, whether or not they're all going to disagree or not, or I mean, agree, right? Uh, that's I'll leave that up to you guys. They might agree, some of them might disagree, whatever. That's fine. But they're at least acknowledging the fact that there is something there for us to be talking about. Yes. This video, I'm going to link this video in the video description for you. If you're watching on YouTube, it'll be in the description below. If you're watching on Facebook, it's up above in the description of this post that you're watching. This video, I explain that forced spiritual awakening, I call it a forced spiritual awakening. Again, this person called it a spontaneous spiritual awakening, same thing, can be triggered by other things and usually is. So, example, Eckhart Tolle, he didn't meet his twin flame. His wife, Kim, is not his twin flame. That's a conventional relationship. They're, I think, what you would call, right, soulmates, right? His spiritual awakening was long over, long, long over, years and years and years and years later, after the awakening was over, by the time they met. So, what triggered his awakening? Anxiety, life circumstances, things falling apart. I had a friend, we used to be roommates. This was about 30 years ago. We were living together, we were roommates, and he went through one of these, and it was triggered by life circumstances. He got into trouble with the law. He got put on all these psychotropic medications. He got a medical condition, very, very serious, life-threatening medical condition. I'm surprised he lived, to be honest with you. So all this stuff started happening all at the same time, and then when he came out of it, Kundalini, he's the most psychic person I've ever seen in my life, you guys. I even have some like a piece of note paper he left me one time where he described in detail stuff that I was doing, stuff that the person I was with was doing. We were in another town. And this was before cell phones too. And he even said like random specific things that my friend said. She was sitting right next to me. We were watching TV and we were watching a Prince music video. We're watching VH1. We're watching Prince. And I said, hey, I bet my other friend so and so would like Prince. I should make her a mixtape, right? And then I said something about the Stone Temple Pilots, and then he described other stuff that we did and said, and he wrote down things that she said. And I get home the next day, and there's this piece of paper on my bedroom floor, and I'm like, holy shit, I still have it. I still have it, you guys. I have it locked up in my fucking safe because I don't ever want anything to happen to it. And that's not the only thing that he ever did. Um, so, there's lots of other ways, the death of a loved one, again, a medical condition, something happens in your life, you get over some kind of a life-threatening illness, a near-death experience. That's another one that happens. And again, it's not a normal like, hey, I'm going to just decide to go ahead and I'm going to go learn to meditate and I'm just going to take up an interest in it and read about Buddha and I'm just going to do it. Yeah, right? Like you just manually go decide to do it. No, this is automated. What I'm talking about, this forced awakening, spontaneous awakening, is automated. It's going to happen after the initial breakup with your twin flame in the middle of the dark night of the soul. You should start getting some of this stuff. Kundalini, psychic visions, leaving your body, merging with God, stuff like this. It happens whether you don't have to do anything to get it to happen. It will start happening at some point, either during the dark night of the soul or shortly thereafter. If it's been more than 12 months since the initial breakup with this person who you think is your twin flame. It's probably not your twin flame. You're just obsessed with somebody. It's just this, okay? You don't have to do anything to get the spontaneous awakening to happen. And again, there's other ways that a spontaneous awakening can be triggered. Okay, lots of other ways. Twin flame is just one way to trigger it. And that's what I talk about in this video, right? It's like there's this round room, and inside the room is your spiritual awakening. And there's all these different types of doorways. On one door, it says medical illness. On another doorway, it says near-death experience. On another doorway, it says life situation falling apart. On another doorway, it says twin flame, right? And what everybody else does is they walk through the door and they go in and they have the awakening. What twin flames do is they're kind of in the room having the awakening still, but they're clinging to the door. or they're not even going into the room at all. It's not their twin flame, right? And that's where this person is coming from. These psychologists here, they're talking about anybody that's having a spiritual awakening, okay? So you need to understand this. This is very important. Why you met your twin flame, the real reason, guys. This spontaneous spiritual awakening is a known phenomenon. People are talking about this, including in the psychology community now. People know what this is. This has been talked about for a long, long time. Kundalini, it's been talked about for a long, long time. People that have these types of spiritual awakenings, spontaneous, forced awakening, it's been talked about for a long, long time, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. And your twin flame is one way to trigger it, and if that never happens, I'll even give you the benefit of the doubt. We're going to go all the way up to 24 months after the initial breakup with this person, which is probably way too long, but I'll go ahead and give you the benefit of the doubt. Up to 24 months after the initial breakup, if that never happens spontaneously, it was not your twin flame, guys. It's just this. You're just obsessed with somebody. It's just limerence or whatever. I don't make the rules, guys. It is not hard to tell if it's your twin flame. It really isn't. It has to be highly paranormal. It will be immediate and obvious. And all the people that I work with that I've talked to about this, they're all having the same experience. You can tell, you guys. And then another thing that you can do is let the person go, move on. So like no attachment, right? You're not mad at them. You're not in love with them anymore. If this has ever happened to you, it's like you get out of bed one day and you're like, wow, I just really feel like I'm done and I'm moving on and it's fine. Yeah. And you really feel done with the person. Immediately within like 24 to 48 hours, they start blowing you up, contacting you, texting you. I love you. I miss you. And it was like 3 days prior, they were ghosting you. They were rejecting you. You get out of bed one day and you go, I'm done. And that's when they contact you suddenly. That's a real test that I give to my twin flame students. I give them this twin flame test, right? And that happens. I'm telling you, this stuff happens, guys, to a lot of the people that I work with. Well, if this is happening to people, then there must be something there for us to talk about. Now, let's contrast this, everybody, with what everybody else is saying about twin flames. Let's contrast this. This isn't very hard to figure out, guys. The two people on Netflix, whose name I will not use, and neither should you, they are not twin flames. They're a couple of sick people that have huge egos, a couple of narcissists, manipulative, and all they're doing is screwing people over that are desperate and in a bad way. And yeah, maybe some of them actually met their twin flame. I've had several people come through my program who you could tell they really met their twin. I asked them all the questions, and it was obvious that something spiritual happened. Kundalini, becoming psychic, right? And again, I'm going to explain those things in just a second because I want to make sure you know what those things really are. But yeah, they said, yeah, it just didn't seem right. They seemed kind of toxic. I just had to get out of there. But then there's a bunch of people that are really desperate and they never have a spontaneous awakening. They're just obsessed. It never happens. If you met your twin flame, it will happen, period. And it happens spontaneously. You don't have to make it happen. It will happen. And if it never happens, it's not your twin. It's just some asshole that you met, some toxic person, okay? Move on. All right, Kundalini, sensations of energy moving from the base of your spine all the way up your spine and out your crown. Some people, the energy doesn't make it all the way up to the crown, but it's got to go pretty high. It's got to get pretty close, guys. It has to at least make it to like your throat chakra, right? And here's the thing. The energy itself, it feels like anti-gravity, like you're being pulled up into the sky or being pulled around. It's like a big elastic rubber band of energy that's pulling at you, pulling you up into the sky, pulling you around. Okay. And it is not hot and cold flashes. It is not tingles. It is not numbness. It is not headaches. It is not nausea. There's all kinds of bullshit on the internet, and everybody's getting really sick of it, by the way. I'm happy to say that there's a big pushback against this kind of bullshit on the internet. It's about time. People are really tired of this shit. But you're going to find a website somewhere. I saw one time where they listed like 900 different things that were all like medical stuff. And they said, these are spiritual awakening symptoms. These are spiritual ascension symptoms. And it was that shit. Like your tummy hurts and you got hot and cold flashes or a headache or numbness and your hand is numb, right? Go to the doctor. No, if it's a spiritual ascension symptom, it's going to be weird as hell or weird as heaven, like Kundalini. It's not that other stuff, hot and cold flashes, headaches, nausea. That's a myth. You go ask, I don't know, Yogananda, Buddha, right? I don't know. It's just anybody, any of the great spiritual masters, they're not going to tell you it's hot and cold flashes, dude. The fucking internet is so insufferable. I can't even take it anymore. Guys, I'm not sorry. This video needs to be done. These two people on Netflix are just, they're a symptom. They're a symptom, guys. What did you think was going to happen? But what's the root of the problem? All these fucking myths. Getting pulled out of your body, getting pulled up into the sky, this strange energy pulling at you. That's not hot and cold flashes. That's not headaches. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Okay, psychic experiences. Maybe sometimes you see things in your third eye, but it's not the voices in your head. I already made a video about this. Your mind is capable of producing autonomous, seemingly independent thoughts that seem to act as an independent person, entity, being, right? And it's coming from like this side of your head or this side of your head or back here, right? Or the dome, the very, very top, right? And it's like thinking, it's like talking and thinking. And if you go out and talk to 20 people, just random strangers, and ask them, does this ever happen to you? They're going to go, yeah, but I don't know. It's just your mind. And they don't think anything of it. No, these people that are obsessed with somebody, there's no spiritual awakening. There's no real psychic ability taking place. So I'm going to describe what that is in a second. They're going to be making shit up. They're going to start listening to the voices in their head. They're going to say, I'm having headaches. That must be my twin flame talking to me or something, right? And I've had people like this come through my program. And I told him, I think you should probably seek a mental health professional. I was very nice about it. They didn't want to hear that. I told him, you didn't meet your twin flame, dude. But here's the thing, people that start listening to the voices in their head, this could be an indicator of the beginning stages of something called psychosis. I'm not making that up. People that listen to the voices in their head, and they did, they thought it's like my spirit guides are talking to me on this side of my head, and my twin flame is talking to me on this side of my head. If you're getting any kind of psychic activity in your head, it's going to be the pineal gland. So if you look at where my fingers are, if the two of them could keep going and start touching, right? The pineal gland, it's in the middle of your head. It's in the middle, guys. Just Google it. That's where you're going to be getting visions or sounds coming from. It's not on the side. It's not the dome, the crown. It's in the middle. And again, this isn't even my opinion. This is something here. Let me show you. You don't have to make stuff up about this, guys. There's a real explanation for this stuff. Here, I'll link this video for you. This is a paranormal researcher. Her name is Julia Mossbridge. This guy here on the left, his name is Robert Lawrence Kuhn. I use his YouTube channel, Closer to Truth, as a reference because what I'm trying to do is show you guys that there are legitimate scientists doing legitimate scientific research on stuff like this. This guy, Robert Lawrence Kuhn, he knows the best top names in science, physics, philosophy, mathematics, computers. And I'm like, how does he know all these people? He is very well connected. I've seen him do interviews with top physicists, guys. I'm telling you, if Albert Einstein was alive, he would have already interviewed him like 4 times by now. That's how well connected this guy is. I mean, look at how many subscribers he has. And you guys, you would be shocked by what science is revealing about our universe. And of course, they're not talking about it on TV right now, in consciousness and stuff like this. And so this is an example. So the woman, again, on the left, or I'm sorry, on the right, Julia Mossbridge, is a funded scientific researcher. She is a funded scientific researcher. Okay? She's getting money to do research on ESP, psychic ability, and paranormal phenomenon. Right? Why is she getting money? Because there's something real that she's looking at here. There's something real going on. She's not making this shit up. And she can get verifiable results. She can describe the phenomenon, and it's going to be the same every time. That's called the scientific method, right? And what I'm telling you is there is a verified form of telepathy that takes place in your head, and it happens in the pineal gland. It doesn't happen in any other part of your head at all. Okay? It's not the voices in your head. Now, what most of you are going to experience isn't even that. I just wanted to put that out there because that's one of the biggest myths. I met my twin flame and they're talking to me, and it's really, you're listening to the voices in your head. That's pretty bad idea. You might want to go talk to somebody about that. And I'm not sorry, guys. You guys know it. Like 80 to 90% of the people in these twin flame Facebook groups and chat rooms, they didn't meet their twin. They're just obsessed, and they're listening to their monkey mind, and they think that's their spirit guides or something. And that's not a good idea, guys. That is the beginnings of a mental health condition. Don't do that. And you don't need to. That's what I'm telling you. You don't need to do that shit. This stuff is real. Twin flames is real. And if we could just stop making shit up about it, then you could get some kind of a result. You could get your twin flame to come back. You could live a better life, right? That's what's supposed to happen when you're having a spiritual awakening. Instead, I got to have these 2 dimwits on Netflix telling people to get gender reassignment surgery and shit like this. It's fucking ridiculous. And I mean, if you want to do that, that's fine. That's not what I'm saying. But It was like the two of them, according to the witnesses that were there, the two of them, the two leaders, were like manipulating people into doing it. Like, yeah, you have to go do it. You have to go cut off your dick, okay, to get your twin flame to come back. That's what the victims claim is going on. Shit like that. Oh my god. That's not the way. They even had somebody in the documentary who is an advocate for, trans people and stuff like that. And she was saying, like, yeah, that's not how you do that, guys. That's not how that works. And I should know because I'm an advocate for it, right? Anyway, so I just wanted to address that, like telepathy, okay? Telepathy um, in the head. But really, what you're going to be experiencing, guys, is in here. This is a lot of it. This is almost all of what you're going to be experiencing. It's going to be in the heart, guys. It's going to be in your heart, not your head. That's the thing that's so stupid about it, is most of the psychic experiences that you're going to get are going to be in your heart. And you just know things. It's called intuition. And it feels just like deja vu. It's crazy. It feels exactly like deja vu. The only difference is with deja vu, you're being told stuff about the future. I'm sorry, you're being told I've been here before with deja vu, right? With intuition, you're being told stuff about the future, usually. Sometimes information about another person, maybe, right? But usually stuff about the future, future events. Deja vu, I've been here before, but they both feel the same. They feel identical. It's just the information is different in either case, right? But they both feel like this weird, eerie knowing. And it'll stop you in your tracks, you guys, and you're going to be like, whoa, how do I know this? Whoa, right? It's this weird, eerie knowing. And it keeps coming true. Very important. Because if none of it ever comes true, maybe it isn't what you think it is, and you should go talk to a psychologist. I'm telling you, you guys, this is the thing about these two people on Netflix, too, by the way, is it's got to be half or more of the people that they're helping, the people that they're scamming, are just desperate people that really just need a therapist or something. And they should have a psychologist or a therapist or something. They deserve it. No, it has to be, let's go ahead and double down on the delusion. There's no spiritual awakening. There's no kundalini. There's no psychic visions that come true through the heart. That's almost all of it. It's through the heart, guys. It's not up here that much at all. It's usually almost always in your torso or out of body experience or this non dual merging, right? Remember this here? She talks about um, a sudden sense of contact, union, or complete non dual merging, experience of oneness with a perceived ultimate reality, the universe, God, or the divine. This is something I've already made videos about. Like, you guys out there in twin flame land, you're using the word union the wrong way, bro. It's not a relationship status with your twin flame, dude. That's not what that is. Okay. Now, if you know what the real meaning of the word union is, and separation too, by the way, that's the mind, then you could get your twin flame back. And I'm not going to rehash that here. I've already made a video about it. I'll link it in the video description, along with the other links I'm going to put for you. It's called Twin Flames, Separation Consciousness, Unity Consciousness, and Detaching. Just go look in the description, and I'll tell you what those words really are. Those are the true twin flame teachings, those words. Somebody else figured this out a long time ago, long before I ever even came along or any of the other twin flame coaches. I don't know who it was, guys, but you can tell that's what it is. Their fucking fingerprints are everywhere. Everybody's using these words. Anyway, so This highly paranormal spiritual awakening must be taking place. And if it doesn't, it's not your twin flame, dude. And that's where all these fucking myths come from. I gotta heal my inner child, also, is something else they tell you. You guys see me always going on and on about how that's not a thing. Your twin flame is your soul, guys. You and your twin flame are the same soul. You don't work on your mind to get your twin flame, which is your soul, to come back. You actually release the mind. So this is traditional transcendental spiritualism, genuine spiritualism, right? That's what this is. The teachings of the ancients, right? Buddha, Jesus, Yogananda, Ram Dass, right? Eckhart Tolle, the big names, right? Not no two-bit new ager on YouTube telling you that Kundalini is hot and cold flashes. Talking to you about anxious attachment or avoidant attachment styles. And if you want to talk about that stuff, fine, but that's psychology, guys. Healing. There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't work here, guys. It doesn't work. And the mirror exercise and all this shit. You are not your mind. That's all there is to it, guys. And they make all these, you know, weird promises. There's going to be instant energy healing. Oh, this is the worst one. Your twin flame is your greatest lover. They're your ultimate lover, right? No, they're not. No, they're not. You guys, there's the bubble phase at the beginning where it's all perfect. You know what it's like really to be with them at the end? Like after separation is over, what you guys call separation, right? When the separation shit is over and they stay for good. No more running and chasing. You're permanently with them, right? Like me, my twin flame is permanently in my life. She's not going anywhere, guys. She follows me around like a little lost puppy dog. I've had students meet her in person and talk to her and everything, guys, everything. She was there. She did a question and answer. I went to Europe. Baptista Pop. You know Baptista Pop? You know who that is, right? The power of the heart. He's kind of a big deal, and he wanted to know more about twin flames. So he hosted an in-person event in Europe. We did an in-person event. I gave a little talk, and my twin flame gave a question and answer. She gave a question and answer. She got to talk to everybody, got to talk to her. So that happened. And then on top of that, you guys, I've coached 7,000 people. I've got a whole playlist on my YouTube channel. Here, I'll show it to you. Where is it? Hold on. Never mind. I'll just show you a flash. It's called Twin Flame Success Stories. I'll show you a little thing on the side. People I've helped to get married to their twin flame. They're living together. They're permanently together, guys. I've helped people to do it. Lots of people. Now, what are we all going to tell you about what it's really like to be with your twin? It's just inner peace. It's not this intense romance, passion, right? Eros, right? There's like kind of two types of love, right? There's Eros, which is like passion and romance and, you know, it's hot and heavy and passionate and, ooh, right? Like the bubble phase at the beginning with your twin, right? And then there's another kind of love called agape, which is just inner peace. It's not directed outward at all. It's not. It's not directed outward at all. It's just, I am. It's as the soul, guys. It doesn't work like the mind. This doesn't work like soulmates. This doesn't work anything like soulmates, you guys, at all. Not even a little bit. Okay? This is totally different. It's as the soul. And again, the soul is just inner peace, guys. It's just oneness. That's all. And it's fine. It's not boring either, just in case. Because boring is an emotion. This isn't that either. And they just stay, guys. They just want to be with you. There's no suspicion. There's none of that. It's fine. It's peaceful. And that's it. There's none of the emotional stuff. Now, you could be doing romantic looking things, sure, holding hands, kissing, touching, sleeping together. But again, the myths on the internet, they're telling you got to do all this healing, which has nothing to do with your soul. You don't heal your way into the soul. Every great spiritual master is going to tell you that healing does not cause self-actualization. Buddha, Jesus, Krishna, Yogananda, Eckhart Tolle, Ram Dass, all of them. Charlotte Jacobet, Gangaji, all of them, right? There's no healing. You just are a soul. You just are not your mind. You can heal the mind. It just doesn't make you more of a soul. And if you disagree, I don't know what to tell you, dude. That's not what Buddha said. That's not what Yogananda said. Maybe you should learn what spiritualism really is instead of listening to the New Agers on the internet. And that's the whole problem here is people put the label spiritual on this crap. And again, people are getting sick of it. People are starting to wake up. Hallelujah. And I'm not sorry, guys. I'm not sorry. This is destroying lives. Yeah, I'm kind of mad about it. And I should be mad about it. This is destroying lives, you guys. The whole gender swapping thing, they were like told, you got to do this if you want to be with your twin. You got to go get your boobs cut off or whatever. Go watch it. Go watch the documentary. It's on Netflix, guys. Now, I don't know. Maybe that's not true. I want to say that so I don't get sued or whatever. I wasn't there, but just go watch the documentary. I was contacted by the producers at Netflix, by the way. They contacted me. And I talked to them for like an hour. And they asked me if I wanted to be in the documentary. And I was like, no. Even if you painted me as like a good guy or something like that, I don't even want to be in the same documentary with them. But I'll tell you what I know about them. I don't know a lot. And we ended up spending most of the hour. I was talking again to the producers that made the Netflix documentary. I spent most of the time explaining to them what twin flames really is. And you could tell by the end of the meeting, they were just so bored. They were so bored by what I had to say because they were like, well, that's all it is? It's spiritualism? That's boring. Just like meditating and just being. That's not going to sell. No, I'm not going to be able to, right? Because they want to sell ads. That's how they make their money. They sell subscriptions and ads and stuff. And, they need something sensational. And I'm just giving them like Eckhart Tolle, you know. So I don't know. Maybe it was a good thing that I held that meeting with them. They were cool guys and everything. I thought the people that made the documentary were, pretty neat, people. Pretty creative, they were cool. But yeah, it's too bad, guys. People are lonely. I get it. People are lonely. There's like this epidemic of loneliness, and then there's people that are desperate and they're looking for connection. I get it. I mean, there's this set of perfect storm conditions. It's not a mystery to me how something like this could have happened. These two people on Netflix. And again, you look at the internet and there's just myths galore, just a whole internet pushing all this garbage, all this junk level information about twin flames, which has absolutely nothing to do with consciousness. It has got nothing to do with the soul. It's all just a bunch of mental and emotional stuff. It's a bunch of obsession. And then, again, 80 to 90% of them, they don't have a spiritual awakening. Highly paranormal, like leaving your body. No, that doesn't happen to them. It's just somebody listening to the voices in their head at best. 80 to 90% of them, you guys. That's sad. It's sad, you guys. And at the same time, it makes me kind of mad because it's hurting people. It's destroying lives. And then meanwhile, you know what else is really bad about it? Is people that actually met their twin flame, we look fucking stupid. So I don't know. I don't know, you guys. I'm going to keep fighting the good fight. I'm going to be a catalyst for change. This phenomenon is real, and I'm going to make sure it gets taken seriously, and I'm not going to back down, guys. When all the other twin flame coaches are gone, I'm still going to be here, guys. I'll be the last one standing.